This week, we share snippets from the financially focused roundtable discussion powered by the Caribbean Credit Repair Association, hosted by Dennise Williams. The discussion, titled Survive a Debt Crisis, Bankers and Business People Drop the Knowledge, takes a look at the lessons industry leaders and professionals learned from the coronavirus pandemic and the explosion of consumer debt. The discussion featured experts from the executive board of the private sector organization of Jamaica, PSOJ, who are leaders in their respective organizations. Today, we'll hear from owner and proprietor of the popular Jake's Hotel, located in Treasure Beach, St. Elizabeth, Jason Henzell. He says the coronavirus pandemic blindsided the business and encouraged other business owners to take a look at long, medium, and short-term strategies.
And being in the hotel business, most hotels, if not every single one of them, operate on deposits for forward bookings, right? So it's a bit of a slippery slope, and it's quite dangerous because every single person who has booked a holiday from you, whether it's next week or in 2 years' time, they were fully within their rights to say, we can't come, the borders are closed, we need our money back, right? And that would have put us in an incredibly bad situation, right? So thank goodness, a lot of those forward bookings were persons who had come to Jake's before, sometimes 2, 3, 4, 5 times before. And what we were able to do is reach out to them and say, look, we're going to offer you 18 months to rebook, an 18-month window. And the truth is, if someone even wanted 2 years, we would have given it to them. We said, we know that the world has shifted, the floor has fallen out from under us. But what we really want is for you to stick with us and not ask for your money back, right? And I'm proud to say, and I'm very proud to say, that of 100% of the forward bookings, we were able to retain 70%. Okay. And only have to return 30%. And I think that was a team effort, and that was really appealing to persons because, as you said earlier, it's a two-way street, right? It's the same. It's as though we're the banker in this case, and the traveler is the customer. Basically, we're going to be here when this is done. We want you to come back to Jake's. We want you to remain a loyal customer. We're going to take care of you. We'll never forget this, right? Yes. And I'll be honest with you, there was one pretty emotional period for me when a guest called me. This was about a month into the pandemic, and he said, Jason, how many staff you have? I said, 150. He said, here's my credit card information. I want you to give every single one of them $100 US.
Wow.
And let me tell you, I was in a state, okay?
Wow.
And then another guest of ours reached out to us and said she wanted to start a GoFundMe. And that raised $70,000 US for a staff. Now, for a small hotel of our size, I think it just spoke volumes, So we did have to let staff go during that period of total shutdown. We had to look at our cash flow, which was non-existent.
Mr. Henzell says businesses should communicate effectively with their creditors and shares how real estate investments cushioned the pandemic's blow.
First thing to do is to try and hide, right? So let's call every single one of our creditors. The same way we were asking our customers to stay with us is the same way now we need to go to our creditors and say, look, this is the scenario. We're going to be good for it. Stick with us. Let us work out some type of a payment schedule. And this included the government for taxes and payroll taxes. This included suppliers like Grace Kennedy, Caribbean Producers, Wisinco, people who have had a relationship since we started in 1993. So we were very honest with them. And then I remember speaking to our banker about the situation. And, over the years, we have taken a community-based approach. And in the good times, when we had money, what we did is we bought land. So we created a land bank. And I looked at that land as like, if everything went fantastically great, we would develop it ourselves. If it went somewhere in the middle, we would sell some and keep some. And if everything for some reason went really bad, we would be able to sell the land. So one of the good things that happened during the pandemic is that a lot of Kingstonians, particularly Kingstonians, started to come to Treasure Beach because, you know, they couldn't travel and they'd already been to Ochi and Montego Bay and Negril and all these places, Port Antonio. So like, you know what, all right, I've been hearing about Treasure Beach for a long time. Let me go and check it out. And a lot of those Kingstonians, quite frankly, are the ones who carried us through this period, the local
Wow.
trade. And the good news is that they inquired about land for sale. And we had to sell 3 pieces of land, or we decided to sell 3 pieces of land. Quite honestly, our bank told us that we were not there yet. That was the language that they used. They said, you know, I don't want you to panic. I don't want you to think that you have to start selling assets. But I am my level of risk tolerance is you know, fairly low. Everyone has a different level of risk that they're comfortable with, and I wanted to be able to sleep well at night.
Vice President of the PSOJ and President of First Global Bank, Mariam McIntosh Robinson, encouraged entrepreneurs and business owners to do scenario planning.
And to say the what ifs. And with the what ifs, you take actions to create that cushion. Because I think if anything we should take away, if we don't take anything else away from this pandemic, the Black Swan event, the impossible 1% has happened. So we always have this perception of business owners and entrepreneurs as people who push all the way to the limit and they take risks and they're very like, you know, flamboyant in how they see the world and highly, you know, optimistic. And I think it's just a very practical example of how to run a sustainable business.
Find the full roundtable discussion on PBCJ's YouTube channel. For more information on the development of your financial future, head on over to financiallyfocusedmedia.com. And that's it for this extended edition of the Business Report Inside the News on PBCJ. I'm Gabrielle Thompson. Pleasant viewing.